Alright, hello and welcome to a new Warframe builds video. So, this is going to be my updated one for Trinity with both of her builds. I'm using Trinity Prime. This is the new skin, came out today. Figured it was a good as time as ever to update my Trinity video, because it's a video that I was not super happy with. But if anyone wanted to see them, this is the new Trinity skin, and that is the new Kubro skin that comes in the little bundle with it. It looks quite nice. Anyway, let's get started. So, I have added forma to this here Trinity Prime. I've added 3 forma, and these forma work for both builds. So the first one we're going to be showing is going to be Energy Vampire. This is probably the build that is in the highest demand for Trinity, and just in general, you can it's unlimited energy. Basically, if you're doing it correctly, it's unlimited energy. The ability itself does really high damage. You still have access to blessing, and it's just great overall. And also, you get overshields. That's a little bit less of a point, but is still a nice addition, especially in a party where you're not using a Blessing Trinity, which usually EV and Blessing will be paired together in the raid. So, let's just show this off on one enemy, because this is like a group-heavy build where you're usually going to have like defender-type classes like Frost be with you if you're playing as EV Trinity. So I'm just going to show the effective damage and the energy output that you can get out of this weapon on 105 Corrupted Heavy Gunner. So, just spawn them in right quick. I have my 2-button bound to my mouse. There we go. You can see this also does a significant amount of damage, and I'm getting some crazy overshields from it. It's quite good. Yeah, that was... It's an obscene amount of energy. You're gonna, like, with this build, you're gonna feel... You might need 2 casts to fill Volt Prime with a maxed primed flow. It might take 2 casts to fill that, but that's the highest energy pool in the entire game. It might take 2 casts. Could be wrong. I don't remember exactly how big Volt Prime's energy pool can get. Anyway, it's an obscene amount of energy, and you can cast it incredibly fast, as you saw. I cast it like 5 times to kill that enemy. Filling the entire vicinity of like 100 country miles just with non-stop infinite energy. And that's what this build does best. And that's mostly what the build is for. You'll see it quite often. This is the maxed out variant of that. It's worth noting, I'm only using Firewalker because I like to go fast and I like how Firewalker works. Any of the other elementals are at your discretion to use. Obviously, like Firewalker, I think it's Lightning Dash, and then there's the Poison one and the Ice one. All of those are pretty much the same, although I wouldn't suggest using the Poison one unless you just enjoy fart gas going everywhere. But that's at your discretion, really. Let's move on to Blessing. So, this is my maxed out Blessing build. This build is significantly cheaper than the other, especially if you are like me and prefer to have narrow-minded at rank 8 instead of rank 10. So, this build just focuses on making the entire party completely invincible, and it does its job quite well. You'll have, with this build without the Arcane Helmet, I'm not using the Arcane Helmet because I really like how the new skin looks. You'll have about 20 seconds of complete invulnerability for you and your entire party, and it doesn't cost very much energy, and it is, like, you still have access to your 2 to fill you up, and it's just generally really good and great. So, let's just back this up. You also will need a melee weapon, a glaive specifically. So, I find the Serrata is the perfect because it just does toxin damage, which will go through an overshield if you have an EV Trinity in your party. So this will always do its job, provided you are doing your job correctly. This is the build I use for it. This uses, I think it's about 5 to 10 energy whenever I do it. It bleeds into my quick thinking just a little bit, but if I remove any of these mods, it docks it too much. And it puts me at like 5 health, so I won't get like the full 99% damage reduction, which is what you want. So, this is the build I use for that. Docking like 10 energy out of your pool, not a big deal. Just make sure you're keeping yourself topped off with your 2, which is still fairly simple. So, this is the build that we're going to do for the demo, because this is also very highly usable in solo. There's obviously like more general builds for Trinity. You can build Trinity a lot of ways, but these are the main builds. So just to show off Blessings and Vulnerability, basically because you have Power Throw, it does an AoE. I learned this in the last video. I actually did not know this at that time. I was equipping my melee. You just charge it, throw it at the ground, you're at 2 health, hit 4, 99% damage reduction for 20 seconds. And then you can time it appropriately whenever that gets down to about 1 second to pretty much instantly refresh this. And I will attempt to do so now. That's about what you want. Obviously, with practice, you can pare that down to being like less than half of a second of a delay. And it's just incredibly good. Overall, these are the builds that make Trinity what she is. She's an S-rank frame. It's very hard for there to be like something that is better than this that doesn't just outright break the game 100%. So let's get to the testing. Let me grab some energy real quick. Also, Nenin here is just kind of for show. I like how she looks. She's not really going to be doing anything of any significance here. I think she'll probably just chase them around. It'll be quite nice. So level 80 is what we normally test these groups at. I think that's reasonable. Oh, and it's also worth noting, I'm using the Sinoid Simulor. The Sinoid Simulor is good for a couple of reasons. The main one being that it is AoE damage, which is not something that Trinity has inherently. So you can use that to kind of pad out what Trinity can accomplish. Because one of her huge downsides is that she can't clear huge groups very, very quickly. The Sinoid Simulor does a lot to solve that problem. So let's get started. Alright. Also using the Lex Prime because it's the Lex Prime. I mean, what more reason do you really need? Watching your timer is incredibly important. And obviously, whenever you have this much damage reduction, enemies are more of a nuisance than anything actually threatening. There's another... There they are. As long as you pay attention, obviously. If you don't pay attention, you're going to have a bad time. But that goes for all frames, really. Like, if we're being honest. And my aim is not on the ball today. You're dead. You're dead. Oh, I think I have radiation damage on both these. Yeah, this is radiation viral. Probably should have switched this one to corrosive blast. Oh well. Also, I believe the buff applies to my companions. I know Blessing heals companions. Not sure if it applies the buff. I've actually never tested that. Regardless, companions aren't targeted very often. You're dead. Is everyone dead now? Oh, I hear one. Who is a sneaky beaky motherfucker? Where? Where are you? Where are you hiding? What the fuck? Oh, what? Look at this, you professional hide-and-seek bitch. I did not know that was possible. Anyway, that is, that's Blessing Trinity and Eevee Trinity. I hope this helped you guys. Oh, well, I didn't know you could teleport. You gotta tell me these things. Hope that helped you guys out in building your Trinities. Again, the builds. 3 Forma on both. It's obviously the same on both sides. Blessing Trinity and Eevee Trinity. 3 Forma is pretty simple. Not too bad at all. And then on the Serata, no Forma needed. Quite good. Obviously, you only need the Serata if you're using the Blessing Trinity. Otherwise, you know, that might as well. Where's it at? No, it starts with a B. What am I doing? I'm going down, not up. Let's look at that new bow skin. Why not? Those of you that want to see it, maybe. Yeah, there's a new bow skin too. Oh, that's actually a lot nicer than I thought. I haven't looked at this yet. That's real good. All right, but yeah, that is Eevee Trinity and Blessing Trinity, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.